lot harder than this should have been, but we got there. We got there. Hi, Susan. How you doing?
Fine, thanks, Joshua. How are you doing?
Oh, just enjoying the adventure of life. When we last had a serious chat, I had just experienced New York for the first time. That was
Oh,
an
wow.
interesting. That was an interesting like Facebook feed because it was like I I never took New York maliciously. I never took that experience from a malicious point of view. I realized what it was, but it was really interesting to hear New Yorkers' perspective on it too.
It's a first contact experience. I lived there for 40 years and I loved it. But after a while, it got much.
Yeah, no, I totally get that. I don't think I could live there. I could definitely visit it again though.
Oh, it loves visitors. We're
Yeah,
happy to have visitors. Come and bring money.
that's it. Yeah, no, totally, totally. No, I promised a buddy of mine there, Alfie Fruin, I'd go play poker with him in New York.
Oh, boy.
Yes. Yeah. I'm an adventurous sort. I think he figured this out. I'm just a pretty adventurous fellow in general.
I'm
So
getting adventurous as I get older.
yeah, well, it's the beautiful thing about like as you get older, you give less of a shit, right? You just don't
Oh,
care. Like,
yeah, you've sort of worn it all out. And you get
yeah,
more courageous and you realize that most things are not the end of the world.
yeah. Actually, the truth is, no one really cares, and
No one,
that's a beautiful thing, actually,
yeah,
right? Right? It's like you know what? I can do this. No one, heck, even I have found this. Even when I've done some borderline, quote unquote, questionable things on this trip, because I did that here and there, for the most part, even the cops don't care. It's just like, are you bothering anybody doing what you're doing, right? If you are, then they step in, but otherwise, they
yeah.
don't care either.
You don't frighten the horses, you don't hurt kids, and nobody pays attention to you.
Yeah, no one cares, and honestly, that's the way it should be. Live and let live.
I don't mind it.
Yeah. How have you been?
I've been fine. This move to Connecticut 6 years ago has been the best thing that could have happened to me.
Chill? Is it like relaxed?
Yes, it really is. It's relaxed, it's green, it's spacious. The people are surprisingly nice, really nice. I'm
Oh yeah,
nicer.
yeah. No, I mean, that's the thing, right? Like you go, it's what I will. Okay, the last New York commentary, because I had a buddy from New York go through MegaCon in Florida. He
Mm-hmm.
walked through the whole con in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Conventions are kind of like they should be savored slowly. They shouldn't be devoured. But you had like this New York mindset of just going through and just plowing through. It's just like, dude, step away, relax, have a good time. It's okay. The rest of the world is not like this. A little, right? It's a lot more laid back, I think.
Guilty as charged. I like to go through everything the first time, sit down, have a coffee, and then go back and take my time. But I have
That's
to make
fair.
sure that I have to make sure I'm not missing anything.
Yeah, no, it's fair. No, I think that moment, like, okay, the one thing I realized is like I'm in my 40s, and I realize that now that in my 40s, I'm taking a moment and appreciating everything I'm doing in the moment. I'm working for a naturist community right now, a park,
Ooh,
right? So that's an adventure, right?
it is an
So
adventure.
I'm taking the time to connect with the people I'm working with, treating it like my home while I'm here, because I'm not going to be here forever, but I want to make the most of the time I have.
Mm.
I think as you get older, you learn how valuable that. I think that is truly the one like travel nugget I've carried from this trip is that it's a precious while, right?
Hmm.
Right, and so you got to treat it as what it is, a precious while.
Time's precious.
Hmm.
we're getting ready to go to Glimmerglass for an opera festival. And we've been going every year for 5 years, except during the pandemic. And we see people that we've seen every year for 5 years. And we'll
Hmm.
take our time on that. And then we're going
Yeah,
to
you
go to
should.
IllexCon, which is an and collectors convention. And we will zoom through it quickly and then decide what we want to come back to.
Yeah.
And then we
N-
slow
n-
down.
yeah, exactly. You go, what catches your eye? Then, like, let's enjoy it.
Yep.
Yeah. So you've been doing well? Like, yeah, have you
I've
been
been
doing
doing
well?
shockingly well, really. I've been writing, I've been selling some, I've been traveling a lot, I've been just sort of hanging out.
That's cool. That's super cool. So, where's your favorite place to travel? Because I gotta go for prospect. I got for prospects to understand because I'm gonna be traveling again soon.
Well, where do you want to go?
Everywhere.
Well, I have loved Italy and the Mediterranean islands. Malta was fabulous. In February we were in Israel and that was amazing. That was I've wanted to go for a long time, and it was just an extraordinary opportunity to meet Israelis of all sorts.
Hmm.
People like
Oh
me,
yeah, no,
Bedouin, Druze, Christians. It was a lot of fun. Very
yeah, it sounds
interesting.
good. Yeah, it sounds a lot like fun. Malta's on my list. My family's from there. That's where my last name comes from.
Malta is incredible. You're going to love it.
Yeah, I'm going to visit the island. It's something I've kind of wanted to do. So I'm going to make it kind of like a. It's one of my side quests when I go from Europe to Asia. So I'm going from Europe all the way to the other from ocean to ocean.
Whoa, that sounds like fun.
It is. I'm going to get in all kinds of chaos and mayhem the whole time. It's going to be a blast.
You be
United
careful.
States
They're not
was.
crazy about Americans.
I'm a Canadian when I travel over there. It's all good. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I'll learn how to swear in their language. That's an important thing you understand. Get to know the culture. Be friendly, and let what come what may come what may.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah. The one thing one thing I realized too is like we're only like in life in general we're only here a short time, and a lot of us wait till the end of our lives to enjoy it. And I would rather enjoy it the whole way if at all possible. Life's a dream. Let's live it a little bit.
Thing is like you can enjoy it once you get your courage. It took me a while.
Yeah,
I was busy
that's it.
trying
Yeah,
very hard to survive.
yeah. No, it's a very common thing. Like one of the things about North America, I don't know what the rest of the world's going to be like, but it's really hard to have a simple life here now. Like maybe it was easier once upon a time. You would know that better than me, but it seems like it's gotten to ridiculous.
I've never had a simple life. It's always been complicated.
Yes, I want the. Yeah, I think yeah, it's complications are definitely a thing. So, what made life complicated for you?
I had goals. I had ambitions. I had the desire to get out of places and to get into places. I wanted an education on my terms. I wanted to earn a living. I had my mother to help support. And I wanted to write and at the same time work career level post on Wall Street. And I did.
So, I don't know if your life was complicated. You had a clear vision of what you wanted.
Well, there were a lot of things going on there. And then I had
Sure.
my hobbies, the creative arts, the writing. Well, writing wasn't a hobby, but museums, the opera, other kinds of music, now art collecting.
What are you collecting? Like what kind of art?
Ah, what they call imaginative realism, fantasy and science fiction art. What I
Ah,
especially like is getting covers of my books. That's fun.
no, yeah, it is. So my favorite like cover artist is Michael Whalen. I think
Oh,
that dude
he's
did
good.
amazing. No, he's made amazing stuff. I love his gunsling stuff, like his actual like from the King. But he did some really good covers like through a lot of different series throughout the years.
He's wonderful.
Yeah, no, he's fantastic. I wish you could meet him actually. If is he still alive?
He's in Connecticut.
Oh, cool. I love to meet him. I'd love to meet him.
We
It'd be
keep
cool.
talking about getting together for dinner, but everybody's busy.
Yes, yes. It's definitely a thing that like, yeah he just does really cool stuff. There's some other ones. Charles Vest does some amazing stuff. I
Hmm.
like his work. Um, yeah, there's some decent like I've been very fortunate with the kind of people I've hired to do my covers. Like they've been
Hmm.
great, but yeah, I enjoyed them. Florence Chan, Kenzie Katz, those are the people I've hired. There's a lot of good art book covers out there. What's your favorite
There's,
one? Not your books.
it's hard to know. I like Whalen. I like Donato Giancola. I like Dave Seeley. I like, Gary Lippincott. A lot of
Okay.
artists. Bob Eggleton. He does wonderful monsters and seascapes and dragons.
Yeah. So what? So why fantasy? Why the imaginative fantasy stuff? Like why that in particular?
Well, that's the stuff I write.
Yeah.
And what I like is the fact that they're doing the kind of thing I like to read and write, and they're applying very, very Renaissance style techniques to it.
That's cool. That's really really cool. Um, Renaissance style.
Yeah.
So yeah, you sound
I
like.
grew up in the art community. When I was 6 years old, I was dropped off at a museum with a box of charcoal and sheets of paper.
Did you draw?
I drew, I did pastels, I did watercolors, tempera, and oils.
Do you still draw?
No.
Oh,
Well, it's like I'm a much better audience than I am as an artist, except for writing. It's like I took piano forever. And
hmm,
what it's been good for isn't, I stopped my lessons. It's that I'm really good at appreciating things. I know what I
yeah.
see. I know what I hear.
That's fair. That's super fair. I think. So I draw.
Do
I got
you?
into drawing about do for last 4 or 5 years. I'm not very good, but I had this epiphany. So I was terrified of drawing when I was younger that I would suck. During the pandemic, it was just like, so what if I suck?
Yeah,
Right? Right? It doesn't matter. Right? I'm actually a published illustrator now. Although, like I said, I would,
great.
yeah, I've done some stuff, but it's like I never sought it. Like it's never been what I've sought out to do. I always write. Like, I love writing, and like most of my writing these days is my Substack with my travels. But I still write other things as well. Like I wrote a story the other day about hijacking a spaceship inside a star because it seemed like a fun idea.
Scientifically implausible, but if you can make a go of it, go you.
You don't it doesn't. So I came to a realization. Maybe this is a storytelling thing for me, right? It doesn't really matter how plausible or implausible it is, as long as it's believable. Like if there's
That
an
works.
actual, yeah, right. It has to be believable. It doesn't necessarily have to be plausible, and as long and it because I look at like Star Wars, right? It's the old West in space. That's what it
Yeah,
is. Right? That's what it's
yeah.
right. So, is that realistic? That what would really happen if we went into outer space? No, Are you stopping guns with swords? Hell no. But it's fun.
It's a hell of a lot of fun.
So why? So if it's fun, people can enjoy it. You don't really need it to be that possible. You just need it to be something people can buy into.
I like the plausibility. I grew up reading Andre Norton and Robert Heinlein.
Yeah.
So, the things have to make sense. They don't have to really work, but they have to make sense.
Mm-hmm.
And very frankly, I think there's a double standard. For women writers, when I was starting out, they really had to make sense because they were just looking for ways of kicking us out.
Yeah, science fiction was a boys' club. I think it's a little less of one now, like just looking at the authors out there, but it definitely was a boys' club back in like the 70s, the 80s, or
There were
earlier
some
than that.
there were some good writers coming up who were women, but nothing like what there is now. And there was a lot of noise about it.
Hmm.
Three other writers and I did some stories for some columns about female writers for Amazing, and a very hard science fiction male writer tried to get him cut.
Really?
Yeah, he was offended. We were stealing his precious shelf space. So he wrote a column, and then we wrote another one.
Mm. Wait, is he a relatively famous one? A famous author?
Yes, yes.
Maybe a grandmaster?
I don't think he's a grandmaster.
Okay, so it's not who I'm thinking. Is he still currently out there?
Oh, yes.
Okay, then I won't. Then I won't go any
No,
further
we don't
because
do that. We don't
no, no,
mention
no, no.
names.
We won't do that. I am trying to. I'm trying to be nice about it without giving names and getting us or particularly me in trouble. But yeah, there are like I would. This is what I was going to say. Like my own fiction career, my
Mhm.
publisher's a woman. She's great. Like she's phenomenal. Um, right. I have been most of the people I have worked with in the industry have been women. Not all, but most.
Mm.
And they've been all great. And they've all contributed some amazing things. They definitely have made me better. I can't even like put into words like people like Florence, Kenzie, Justine, my publisher, like my editors. Like they have been incredible people. And honestly, I think they've made fiction better for existing. And like I'm just being blunt when I say this. Like I think it's come a long way. Because when I look at a science fiction section now, I see a lot of more women on there. But there's
Hmm.
definitely like I definitely remember like up till like the maybe the late '90s. There was only Anne McCaffrey and Andre Norton, pretty much.
Ursula.
Ursula too, yeah, she's great. She was great.
I mean, I can name them all. I made my first sales in the late 1970s, and a lot of the female editors were what I call male identified.
Hmm.
You got the guys got more time. They got a bigger piece of the pie. If I sound resentful, it's because I was.
Sure,
But we were
and you had
hungry.
every right to be.
We were
Like,
hungry too.
yeah, absolutely. No, absolutely. Like some of those guys paved the way. Like Heinlein paved a
Oh
lot, right? So, and on one level you can understand that, but especially in science fiction, there's a definitive need for new voices, and there's a definitive need also. I think science fiction kind of has to change a little bit, in my opinion,
yeah, it
because
does.
this exists. Like things like this exist now. So, like science fiction, science fiction almost in my opinion has to go back to like in some way not like with a modern sensibility like the very old school Heinlein pulps, the Edgar Rice Burroughs. There's got to be a fantasy element to science fiction again. Otherwise, I think science fiction goes extinct.
I think the first thing you need to do is you have to have characters. Then you have
Hmm.
to tell a story.
Hmm. Absolutely,
And the,
absolutely.
and the thing with science fiction is that you can use it as a vocabulary for telling the kind of story you can't tell with just human beings.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. I mean, you can bring in other factors that aren't human at all, right? And make them alien. But
Yeah,
like I said, the reason I bring up the fantasy stuff is when I go to a bookstore, science fiction used to have. I remember back in my day when I'm talking the clouds and they're talking back. Science fiction had a hefty section of bookstore,
yes,
right? And then they'd have, and fantasy would have a little smaller section. Now it's the other way around.
yes.
Fantasy dominates the book space science fiction used to have. I don't think it's entirely a bad thing. I think science fiction can learn an awful lot from fantasy. I look at something like Sylvain Neuvel's Human, like his trilogy, where it's like almost like a transcript style story. I thought that was such a neat take on aliens that's never been done before. And I think those it had a kind of fantastical nature to it. And I think you need a little, I guess for lack of a better term, you need a little bit more magic in science fiction. And I'm not saying like fantasy where you have magic spells and stuff like that, but that little bit of like old school Star Trek where anything kind of felt possible. Does that make sense what I'm saying there?
It does make sense because this is the week that in 1969 saw Neil Armstrong land on the moon.
Hmm.
And I remember the picture of Earthrise,
Hmm.
that first that first shot of Earth rising the way we would always see the moon rise, and that's still amazing to me.
Hmm. No, like there was a magic. I think in one very odd. This is gonna sound odd. I'm not saying again. Not saying you should get rid of hard science fiction, but maybe soften it just a little bit so you can have a little bit more of that magic get back into it. That's just me.
Well,
Maybe I'm wrong.
I like the planet building. I like the emphasis on characters. It
Yes.
isn't all, as you know about Bob, the Google Gargle Buster gadget
Not
does
anymore.
X, Y, and Z. I can't read that.
Now, no, that had its place back in like the 60s and 70s is where that stuff was big. Doesn't work anymore, right?
True.
Doesn't work anymore. People want good characters. Like I want people to believe in. I want people to connect to. I want to have fun. I I'm watching a I don't know if you do you watch any Japanese anime or manga? Are you read any manga or anything like that?
No, I haven't. My partner's really into it, though.
Yeah. So one of my one of my favorite ones right now is called Spy X Family. It's hilarious. Like it's deliberately over the top comical. It's about a spy that has to infiltrate a school and he has to get a family. The girl he picks, it turns out to be a telepath, and his wife he ends up choosing is an assassin.
Oh
It
boy.
is it's unintentional. The hilarity because there's a lot of this is from the girl's perspective,
Yeah.
right? Because she can read both their minds. So 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 how they think. It's like it's so funny and become a real family as time goes on, and it's great, right? But they're fun characters. It's a fun world. I mean, it doesn't feel like the existential dread of the world. It feels like something fun and magical in like the best
Well,
way.
well, there you are. I think the world has gotten so rough that we need a certain kind of fantasy, magic, escapism.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a bad thing. You know,
No,
Tolkien.
I'm
Tolkien
looking at.
said that there's a difference between the escape of the prisoner and the flight of the deserter.
Mhm.
And I think very much we're trying to get out of a prison.
I so I it's funny. I last for the last so my big when I backpack. I when I backpack, I didn't sleep in the best of places. Sometimes I slept in the worst. Just just because but because you want an honest look at the world and what the good and bad of the place you're in,
Hmm.
see it at its worst. Because if you see it at its worst, you can see the pull, if for lack of a better term, the pull of how of the machinery behind the country. I
Ah.
was so when I went through Canada, I was shocked at the despair. Like the have not gap in Canada has increased dramatically, more so than a lot of Canadians I think are honestly want to admit. The
Mm.
United States was far kinder than I expected to be, and I was there up until May. So it's not like I'm not watching what's going on not now, but it gave me a lot to think about how the world's presented to us, the way the world maybe actually is. And one of I think the big lessons I think I've learned talking to so many people when I went on the road is I think we're at a point in our culture where the very wealthy and powerful are trying to divide us up in as many different ways as we can.
Oh, yes.
And right now it's divide, conquer, plunder. And there's a certain normalcy to the chaos I see around me. Um, Again, politically speaking, we all have our proclivities, but I think all of us would be honest to admit there's a huge leadership problem across the board. Doesn't matter what your party is, doesn't matter what your politics are. I think reason it feels like it does is because we need to make some big changes. I think
Oh, yeah.
we've outgrown the system we as we've known it. I think the challenge now is who controls where we steer. Does that make sense? Where I'm talking about there?
I'd have to be thinking about it, but I'm looking at the same things and from a different way.
Yeah.
I think what I think people have to do is, oh no, you don't.
Mm-hmm.
This far and no further, and now we're going to go and we're going to take it back. I'm
Mm-hmm.
hoping for it.
No, I think so. Your generation fought for everything.
Yeah.
My generation cowered to everything because I think the generation between yours and mine. This is just my take on it. The generation between yours and mine stopped fighting.
You think
My
Gen
gen,
X?
not Gen X. So okay, hold on. Let's clarify. My dad was born in 1959.
Your dad was born in 1959. Okay.
56, 56 actually, sorry. So
Okay.
that generation. I'm from 1981.
He's a boomer.
He's a boomer.
I'm a boomer.
You're a boomer. Okay. So he grew up when he grew up. The things start when he was graduating high school and he's going and was about to do Vietnam. He just escaped going getting drafted over there. He watched slowly as things that were like his parents had were starting to be taken away.
Yeah.
And I think what happened is that generation stopped fighting, right? That particular generation stopped at some point. I don't know why exactly what happened there. My generation is afraid to fight. And the generations coming up after us, some of them have no idea what it was like before. So I think what's going to happen is, though this line and no further is going to come back, but we're going to lose a lot before we get to that point where we have to fight for everything again.
Well,
That's kind of how it's.
I think the later generations have compensations. They have the virtual world. They have technology as native speakers that I'm still dazzled by.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm a classic boomer. I was born at the very, very tail end, like December 31st, 1949.
Mm-hmm.
And the world was supposed to be my oyster.
Hmm.
It wasn't bad. It was very good. And then the rug got jerked out from under me, and people said, "You damn fool, what made you think that you were going to get to keep it?" And I think the next group, the next age cohort, Gen X, was just very cynical and sort of hid in on itself. And I don't know what the millennials were doing. They were supposed to do marvelous things, but I think that I think they got worried. And as you say, I didn't realize that they stopped fighting. I think they were mostly fighting us.
I again divide and conquer. Back in the
Yeah.
day when you guys
Oh,
divide and conquer,
I see what
right?
you're doing.
Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to make you see what one of the. So I had a conversation with a gentleman. I was driving. They had a car share service up here called Papa Ride. So from Regina to Winnipeg, I talked to a gentleman from Zaire. It was interesting being able to talk Canadian, American, and Ukrainian politics with somebody that actually, I don't talk like big politics like with too many people here. I talk with people to look at it from the outside because they have a much different perspective than most of us have, and
Hmm.
you learn a lot. We talked politics for about 3 hours, and we got to a
Whoa.
Brandon, Manitoba. It was very civil conversation. We got to Brandon, Manitoba, and this stuck with me. I think he's been right, and this message repeated over and over again throughout my journey, because the big thing you got to remember is in the third world, if a good government shows up for the people, the United States, Russia, somebody arms the poor to take them down. In the first world, they divide everybody up to go against each other, so they don't see what's really going on. And I
Oh.
thought about that, and I thought he was right. And then we spent the next 2 hours making fun of how flat the prairies were in Canada, which, by the way, is the best way to end. And it was a great conversation. But what stuck with me about it was the idea of fighting each other over a ideology is keeps us from looking at the bigger picture.
Oh, I think you're completely right.
Yep. Right. We all have proclivities, and we always will. That's fine. But we have to get back to the point where we're talking to each other about those differences, and also because together we can stand and say this far and no farther, but individually none of us are strong enough. And I think what's happening right now is they're trying to make us as individualized as possible so that it's easier to keep doing what they're doing.
I don't mind individualization. Do you
Yeah.
remember? Do you remember that one guy in Tiananmen Square in the People's Republic standing in front of a tank?
Yes.
I
Yes.
think that's I think that's an important use of it. I mean, at some point, everybody's got to stand up, and we can't say this far and no further from me. Oh no, you don't.
Yeah.
And I think the more people who go, oh no, you don't, the better our chances are of finding allies.
Absolutely. But I also think we need to talk to each other more. I
Oh,
think I
absolutely.
Yeah, I think we need to talk to each other more. I think the big problem today is I'll go on Facebook and say an opinion, and it's too easy. It's too easy to dismiss somebody from a distance, and I think we've gotten into this really bad habit of doing that. I think it's much better. Like again, I'm sure you and I, if we talk deep about political stuff, we'd find things we disagree on.
Oh,
But that
completely.
said, right? But that said, that doesn't mean we couldn't find common ground, or maybe even if we don't learn to agree with the other perspective, we can't understand each other, and that with that understanding, we can change the world.
Well,
And
I see it as a lack of generosity and a meanness.
mhm,
We've got. It isn't that you want to do something productive. You want to get somebody else. It's like crabs in a bucket.
mhm.
One crab starts to climb out, and the others all get together to pull it down.
Yeah, no, that's pretty much it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that part exists too. Absolutely. I was amazed. I still remember this from. My last day in the United States, I got it was unbelievable. I got 2 free meals actually right before I left the country. This is what I will say about the United States. A lot of people will say a lot of bad things about it right now. Per person, you might be the most generous people I've ever seen. Per person, I
Yeah.
was I was state by state. I got stories even in New York. The place no one talked to me still was generous to me. The only city I did not like in the United States, I'm just being very honest, was Los Angeles. I didn't like LA.
Hmm.
It's not for me. It's just not for me.
It's not for me either, but it's beautiful.
It is beautiful, but you're on the concrete an awful lot in LA. I just didn't that didn't sit well with me. I hope you understand that. It's just like, why you got all this and you're stuck here? Like why?
Go to UCLA. It's beautiful.
Oh yeah, no, it's beautiful. No, it like I will say, LA is a beautiful city. The whole like there's wonders there, but you're on the road. Like I traffic is brutal. New York, the beautiful thing about New York, the other beautiful thing about New York that I really enjoyed was I could go anywhere I want. In New
Uh huh.
York, yeah, you can go anywhere, and nothing will stop you. Like you have access, and that's the cool thing about New York, right? I am going, like I said, I between those again, New York wasn't the greatest to me, but it wasn't terrible either, right? So I'm just speaking like I prefer New York to LA. I just do, right? Because
It's like
it just
Hamilton. In New York, you
yeah,
can be a new man.
yeah,
You make it. You build your own New York. You build your
exactly.
own small town.
Yeah. Whereas I found LA is just it's a bunch of roads that connect a bunch of places, and there's beauty there.
Oh
But it was
yeah.
just like no, I couldn't do it, right? But all of which to say is, in spite of all of that I just said, even there, the generosity, like United States is getting a lot of flack right now, but I will say, like I was blown away time and time and time again. The amount of people. I'll give you a fun story. I was in Florida, Titusville, Florida. I was going to
Oh
pay for my burger and fries. I was completely out of money. I didn't know it. The dude behind the counter bought my meal. You didn't have to.
wow.
Oh no. This is across. Here's the secret about Americans. I've realized the secret. If you're trying to do something, you guys will support whatever's being done. If the
Yeah.
person looks like they're sincere, you'll go for it. You know what? I'm going to help you. Even if it's a tiny thing, I will help you. And it doesn't matter the state, your like political, like none of that stuff matters. They will try to help you, and that's an amazing quality as a country.
Oh yeah.
You you have that's the best thing about your country. Honest to God, it's the best thing. I had I remember I went to Redding, California with $1 to my name. Like again, I went through this up and down,
Oh my God.
and I did it to dollar. No, so this is what happened. I get there. I'm looking for a soup kitchen to go grab food. Are you there?
I'm there.
Yeah, okay. You're frozen. Okay, so I get to soup kitchen. On my way, this guy is giving away food. He gives me like a whole chicken, 2 loaves of bread, 3 waters. Just
Wow.
no. This is across the board. I got stories in every state that I visited. Right, I didn't just pass through. Generosity is incredible, like absolutely incredible in the country. And yeah, I mean the bottom, like the abyss of the United States is a little scary. I'm not going to
Very.
deny that, right? You got problems there, undeniable. But if you are sincere and you're trying, it's a people will help you. It's unbelievable.
Oh, that's in our DNA. It really is. I mean, if you're
Yeah.
trying to make something of yourself, Benjamin Franklin going from one place to another with these huge loaves of bread because that's all he had. it's a myth that we respect, and it's a
Mhm.
myth we back.
Yeah. I'll tell you one more fun one. I was in Maine. Hitching, holding a hitchhiking. So I was hitching. Okay.
People still hitch.
Oh, yeah, totally. Totally.
Holy.
It's fun. It is amazing the amount. Again, meet people you meet. But I'll tell you my main story because I think you'll appreciate this. So the night before, Dunkin' Donuts, the people that run Dunkin' Donuts gave me free food. So I wake
Yeah.
up in the morning, Dunkin' Donuts to my side, and I'm holding the sign up. This dude comes by, goes, "Hey man, I'll buy you a meal. What do you want?" I told him, "No, I'm good because I had my Dunkin' Donuts, but I thank you very much for offering." He goes to the drive-thru, gets for himself, comes back, gives me $20. The guy said right immediately, the guy from the cigar shop across the street was like, "Listen, I'm not going to give you a ride. Here's $5." Right? I kept getting. I ended up getting like $60 that day, to, and so I didn't get a ride that day, but I got my bus ticket. It was just so this is across, like I said, Maine, California, Florida, right? I got stories in Oklahoma. I got story again. Is the United States a perfect place? No,
No.
but but yeah, like the generosity in the country is absolutely incredible, and I was blown away. Yeah, as long as you come across like you're making a sincere effort in trying, people will give you the benefit of the doubt and they will help you if they can.
Yeah. That's always
Right?
been my experience.
Yeah, that's it. Right? So yeah, no, I hitched. I probably got about 2,000 miles of hitching on my trip. So
Oh,
yeah, Canada and the States combined. Right? I
wow.
hitched from Northern California all the way back into Vancouver, BC.
Woof.
Fun, very fun adventure. I think I scored points. I don't know why, but I think I scored points with you do with that.
Well, it's a thing you could do. I stopped doing it when I was a sophomore in college and a friend died in an accident.
That's fair.
Also, my
That's
father had complete and total meltdown.
And here's a fun fact: women do better hitchhiking than guys do.
Do they? I would have thought it was worse.
Because it's much easier for women to get sympathy. That's what it comes down to. It's much easier for women to get sympathy. It's a bit of a double-edged sword, but by and large, you'll do better. Like women do better.
That's amazing.
Yeah. No, it just
Honey,
it's
I hitched around college in Western Massachusetts, but
yeah.
that was a different sort of thing.
Yeah, I think hitching's going to come back because I think as things get more expensive, people are going to have to band together and do different things. And there's still parts of the country where hitching's normal. Like when I was in there, like when I went back and visited my old stomping grounds in Snowflake, Arizona, there hitching's very common. Like it's a very common thing to hitch. The only spots that's dangerous to hitch in, and not for the reason we think, is around prisons.
Around prisons.
Do you want to know why?
Sure.
Because people will turn you in because they think you're an escaped convict.
Cool.
That's why. It's not the crime prisoners. So yeah,
That's a
there you go.
riot.
Yeah. By the way, and for the record, ladies, anyone listening to this, but I don't condone. I can't condemn hitching because I've done it. I don't necessarily condone it either. It's a risk. It's an acknowledged risk. I'm doing this to cover my ass, if it's the truth, right? It's a risk, but it was a heck of an adventure. I can't say it wasn't, right?
Well,
So
what you were doing and what may have elicited some of the generosity is that you were actually doing a thing that people wished they could do, but for some reason couldn't do.
yeah, I'm living a dream for a lot of people
Yep.
that like it, that's the thing. That's the appeal.
Yeah,
Wait,
you're
why are
living
you
a
doing
dream.
it? Yeah, living a dream. I'm free to do it. And even though I don't necessarily say go down my path, maybe I help encourage people to follow their dreams too. Because if I can do
Maybe
it,
you did.
yeah, maybe I did. And I'm going to do this thing when I go from Europe to Asia. It's going to be fun.
That That should be such a riot. Just get your
Yeah.
shots before you go because you don't know what you're going to get in Asia.
Uh, I'm going to be doing that prep work, and when I get to the October, like in the October time. But I have a plan. I do have a plan. It's just been getting my ducks in a row for some time. But yeah, no, it's just it's been a no, man. I no regrets. I don't know where I'm going to end up, Miss Susan. I don't know, but I'm going to have a lot of fun the whole way. And maybe I don't end up somewhere. I don't know.
Keep on going.
Yeah, that's it. That's my plan. It's such a the world truly is a magical place. I mean, it's
There are,
got its
pl-
rough spots, but it's magic, man.
there are places I would love to go, and now at my age, I know I can't. I just haven't got the physical strength.
That's fair.
The two places I
Where?
would, well, there are three places. Now, I can
Okay.
probably get to Antarctica because if
Yes.
you throw the money at it and they will get you there.
Hmm.
But Mongolia, it's a physical challenge. And the
Okay.
place I would have wanted to go is the base camp of Everest. About
I
15,
don't quite. This is so. This isn't quite the trip to do Everest for me. That might be something I do a little later on. It's not quite that trip. So I'm looking for a home. The top of Everest is not where I want to have my home.
I'm not even thinking at the top. I'm thinking of the base camp at 16,000.
That's fair. No, that's fair. No, that's fair. But
But I
well,
don't
I'll
have
tell
the
you what.
I don't have the stamina now.
No, it's fair. Tell you what I'll do.
What do you
This is
do?
what I'll do. So is my take. So there's a chance I'll be working at this naturist park next year. So it might take 2 years to do it.
Makes sense.
But I don't. But we'll see. We'll see. Depends on how. I'm gonna kind of. The rule I have when I go on the road is I'll let God, the universe, whatever you believe in, decide kind of the path a little bit.
Yeah.
But I'll try to get to Mongolia and send you some pictures.
Oh, do.
Yeah, no, I'll try. That
You
one
know
I'll
that
promise you. I can't.
you
That,
know some people hunt with golden eagles there and other people stand on their saddles and shoot a bow with their feet
yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
and they have dinosaur fossils.
Yeah, yeah. See the wonders of the world. Like I said, it's a
Yeah.
magical place out there, right? So
It's
that's what
full of wonder.
yeah. So if I get there, I will make a point. I will make a point just for you to stop in Mongolia somewhere, and then what I'll do
Ooh,
is I'll send you a picture, right? Or it might even be on my Facebook or my Substack, depending on which
that's
one.
fine. That would be terrific.
Yeah, yeah. I'll make it. I'll make that a point. It might not be it might not be next. It might be not this winter, but the following winter. But I will get there. We'll see.
That's
Well,
wonderful.
yes, yes. This is my midlife crisis. What do you think? For as far as it goes, living a
I think
dream
it's
for a while.
terrific.
Yeah,
It's terrific.
yeah. We'll see where I end up, and and wherever I end up, you know, then maybe I settle down. I kind of made a promise to myself too when I finish this trip, like fully finish the journey for this journey I'm on. Um, Open up a homeless shelter in Canada somewhere.
Great idea.
Hmm. Know how important a meal is. So yeah, these
Yeah,
are these are my crazy dreams, Miss Susan.
they're great. They're great.
Yeah. How about you? At this point, I know you can't do everything you want to do anymore, but I know you're still dreaming. So what's left for you?
Oh, I'm dreaming. We're traveling as much as we can. I'd like to go back to Iceland. I'd like to go to Greenland. I would like, and it's possible, to transit the Strait of Gibraltar.
Yes.
I'd love to get back to Malta.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. if we do end up traveling in the same area, definitely hook up with you for a coffee or a beer or whatever the case may be.
We'll buy you
But
dinner.
yeah, sure, sure. Sounds like a plan,
Okay, that's
right?
great.
Yeah, sounds like a plan. And then you can tell me all the then you can tell me who it is in real life that. but but no, in all seriousness, it sounds like you're having fun.
I'm having a riot. And
Yeah.
sometimes weird stuff happens. We were on a boat, a ship that is rated for, for the North and the South Poles. And it was taking us across the North Sea and past the Arctic Circle, which was fantastic.
Mhm.
And it was a French ship. And so there's all this haute cuisine floating around, and we're eating all this fancy food. And when we got back to Connecticut, we went to a diner and had cheeseburgers and fries.
Mm. Nice.
It was a change,
Yeah.
and we were ready to get back down to earth.
But it was fun.
Oh, it was a riot.
Yeah. That's what matters. That's what matters.
It was
We're
so
not.
much fun.
Yeah. That's what life's about. So you a Star Trek Next Generation fan?
Yes.
I love Q. My favorite quote from him is when they remember when they met the Borg for the first time.
Oh, yes.
There's wonders and treasures to satiate the most, but it's not for the timid.
And
That
no,
was the
it's
word.
not. But sometimes with Q, one of his lines is from Deep Space Nine. You hit me. Jean-Luc never
Yes.
hit me.
Yeah.
Oh, he needed a
Yeah.
punch in the mouth.
Yeah. No. Cisco was not Picard. Cisco was different, and also Cisco didn't need Q as much.
No.
Like Q was only showed up not only that was the only episode he showed up in on Deep Space Nine, and
And Cisco hit him.
yeah, Cisco decked him,
Yep.
which was fun. But yeah, it wouldn't have been the same.
Nah.
Picard Q was made for Picard. Like he was honestly made for Picard because it was um he was both the villain, the devil, but sometimes he also was a heck of a teacher. He gave Picard a lot of things to think about in his own life, which I thought
It's
was
like a
cool.
fencing master.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. My favorite Q episode though is when the Enterprise crew dressed up as Robin Hood, the Robin Hood one. That
Oh,
one's my
yeah.
favorite. That one's my
Oh,
favorite
my
Q episode.
gosh.
That,
Worf
that
with the little hat on.
yeah, no, it was that was so good. That was so good, and it was so much fun. It's like that episode was they had to all have a good time with that. It's like wait, we're what? Yeah,
Everybody
and
was having much too good a time.
yes, oh, that one was that's my favorite Q episode of all time. I mean, there's other ones that are more poignant. There's other ones that are more, I think, have more gravity. But that one is so much fun, so much fun. So, but that's the that to me is the why that episode rocked. Like he's kind of the villain, but basically it's like I'm causing chaos, and now we're gonna see where it leads you. And Mr. Data as Friar Chuck was pretty good. Data's duck was hilarious.
But the thing is, with Q, he's always living the dream.
Yes. Well, yeah. No, living. Well, I mean, you know this probably better than I. We're not long for this world. You're not going to walk away from it. So you might as well go for the things you want. Because that, I mean, what else is there at the end of the day?
I don't know.
Yeah. Right. So since you don't know, might as well try to make every dream come true here. You're here. Make the most of it.
Or at least do the best you can.
That's right. That's right. Susan, I think we've had a wonderful chat. What do you think?
I think it's been great. It's been fun.
Yeah. sorry. I'm going to just publicly say this on the air. I'm sorry this took so freaking long. I, yeah, I know. I just, but I do want to apologize to you because you're great. What do you got going on right now? Like, what's out with you?
Well, writing a bunch of short stories. I've been doing some Cthulhu stuff, some horror things. I think I'm going to do one on Aleister Crowley. You know, he was
Okay.
one hell of a mountaineer.
Yes, he was.
There was a
Also,
real
also a little insane. That's cool.
and totally insane. You know, I've got a couple books circulating. I've got a lot of short stories circulating, and we'll see what happens. I've got more that I'm writing on, and right now I've had 3 weekends that have been total fun zoos after that trip to Norway. So I'm taking it a little easy right now.
That's all good. So, what I guess to wrap things up, is there any one story you'd like to plug to the audience, and how can people find you?
Usually you can find me on Facebook shooting my mouth off.
Yes.
Short stories. There's an anthology coming out called Cold War Cthulhu, which deals with Shoggoths and the Soviet space program, which it's really insane.
Sounds
And
awesome.
keep watching Asimov's. I've got some crazy things coming out in there. But to
Sound.
be frankly, I have never had so many things circulating in my life.
That's good.
It's
Well,
wonderful.
well then, Susan, this is my hope for you. While you're doing this, is that if there's any mountains you want left to climb in this, you hit them and get to enjoy them
Oh,
for a
I'm
little
going
while.
to. I'm going
Yeah,
to.
I feel it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the one and only Susan Schwartz, writer extraordinaire. She's traveler extraordinaire. She's as adventurous as I am, and like I said, I'll keep that promise. When I get to Mongolia, I'll send you some pictures.
Okay, great.
All right. So for everybody watching, everybody listening, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Stay inspired. Keep shining in the dark. And I'll see
Thank
ya
you all.
next time.
Okay.